Your mind creates your future. The true story of a millionaire beggar person's greatness is determined by their thoughts. This timeless truth has been proven time and again by the lives of extraordinary individuals like Elon Musk, Steve Jobs, and Jeff Bezos. Napoleon Hill once said in his famous book Think and Grow Rich, "Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve." But if this is true, why do so many people struggle to succeed? Do they not think about their future? Or do they fail to recognize their own potential? Today a story will help answer these questions and show how a simple shift in thinking can transform a beggar into a businessman and eventually into a millionaire. Once, in a busy railway station, there lived a beggar. Every day, he survived by asking passengers for alms as they waited for their trains. It was a monotonous life, the same routine, the same pity-filled looks, and the same few coins. One afternoon, as he moved from one passenger to another, he noticed a well-dressed businessman stepping onto the platform. The man's suit was expensive, and his posture was confident. The beggar thought to himself, "This man must be really rich. If I ask him for money, he will surely give me a generous amount." With hope in his eyes, the beggar approached the businessman and stretched out his hand. But instead of handing him money, the businessman paused and asked calmly, "Do you always just take from others? Have you ever given anything to anyone?" The beggar was startled. No one had ever asked him such a question before. Confused, he replied, "Sir, I'm just a beggar. I survive by asking for alms. I have nothing to give anyone." The businessman smiled slightly and said, "If you believe you have nothing to give, then you also have no right to ask for anything. I'm a businessman. I believe in exchange. If you offer something, I can give you something in return. But if you have nothing to offer, I cannot give you anything either." Without another word, the businessman boarded his train and left. The beggar stood frozen, his mind replaying those words again and again. If you have nothing to give, you have no right to ask. That night, he couldn't sleep. He thought deeply about what the businessman had said. For the first time in his life, he questioned his own way of living. If I can't offer anything in return, why should people give me money? Maybe that's why I remain poor. I've been taking without giving. 2 days passed. He couldn't beg. He was too busy thinking. On the third day, while sitting near the tracks, he noticed a patch of beautiful wildflowers blooming nearby. Their bright colors caught his attention. Red, yellow, white, so alive, so fresh. Suddenly an idea struck him. What if I give people a flower every time they give me money? What if, instead of just taking, I start giving something back? Determined, he picked a few flowers, returned to his usual spot, and began his new experiment. When someone gave him a coin, he smiled warmly and offered them a flower in return. To his surprise, people accepted the flowers with delight. Some even smiled and thanked him. For the first time, the beggar felt genuine happiness, not because of the money, but because he had something to give. Days passed, and something incredible happened. More people began to give him money. He noticed a clear pattern. When he had flowers, people gave generously. When the flowers ran out, the donations decreased. He realized a simple but powerful truth. People love to give when they receive something meaningful in return. One day, as he handed out flowers, he spotted the same businessman again, the man who had changed his thinking. Excitedly, he ran to him and said, "Sir, today I have something to give you. If you give me money, I'll give you flowers in return." The businessman smiled, handed him some cash, and accepted the flowers. "You've truly understood the value of exchange," he said. "Today, you are no longer just a beggar, you are a businessman." As the train moved away, those words sank deep into the beggar's heart. He realized that he had indeed changed. He was no longer begging, he was trading. He was giving value and in return receiving reward. That very day, he made a bold decision. He would never beg again. Months later, at the same railway station, two well-dressed men met and shook hands. One of them looked puzzled. "Do I know you?" he asked. The other man smiled and replied, "Yes, we've met twice before, right here." The businessman frowned, trying to recall, and then his eyes widened in surprise. "Wait, you're the beggar? The one I refused to give money to, and then later bought flowers from?" The man laughed. "Yes, that was me. But today, I'm no longer a beggar. I run a successful flower business now, and I'm traveling to expand it further." The businessman was amazed. "That's incredible. What changed?" The flower seller smiled gently and said, "You taught me one of life's greatest truths. We only receive when we give." That day, I realized I was never really a beggar. I was a businessman all along. I just had to see myself that way. The two men shook hands again, this time as equals. Each boarded his train, heading towards a brighter future. Moral of the story: life is shaped by how we see ourselves. If you believe you are small, you'll remain small. But if you recognize your inner potential, the world begins to recognize it too. Don't limit yourself with negative thoughts. You are capable, creative, and full of value. When you start giving, whether it's kindness, effort, skill, or an idea, the universe begins to give back. Remember, when your thoughts change, your future changes too. So think big, act boldly, and give freely, because every great transformation begins with a single thought.